So, my top 5 Skyrim Dungeons. Now, before I get into this video, I just want to give a massive thanks for all the people who've been subbing to the channel lately, and for making the Red Dead 2 review my most popular video. That's pretty cool. Now, on to the video. Now, some people are probably wondering, wait, didn't I do this back in like October? Why am I doing another one of these videos? Well, dear viewer, there's an answer to that. Money. Kidding, I don't get paid for these. Now, I wanted to do my top 5 Skyrim Dungeons for quite a bit, and I felt that this is the case, well, the time to do them. So, these are my top 5 Skyrim Dungeons, and do be warned that there are spoilers for, well, some quests and some dungeons in this video. So, let's get into the video. Because at number 5, I of course have Anselvund. Anselvund is a Nordic ruin located in the Rift. This is part of a small miscellaneous quest where you have to find this lady named Luar and kill her as she's trying to resurrect two ancient Draugr who fell in love with her in the middle of a battlefield, and, well, we kind of know what happened after that. Yeah, there's a backstory behind this dungeon, and I'll eventually get into that when I cover that location, but, you know, the deal of the art is that her husband died, and she wanted revenge on the Imperials, as she blamed them for his death, and the fact that they kind of didn't do anything. She also blamed the Stormcloaks because Ulfric waited way too long to start his rebellion, and that's pretty much just the whole dungeon. It's an interesting dungeon, and one that I find to be very underrated, if I'm being honest. I've also gotten it confused with Angervund, which is another dungeon located also in the Rift. I had to fact check this before I even made this video, so that's a little fun fact. Of course, my next pick is of course Aflund. Aflund has made quite a few appearances in a couple of my videos. Now, of course, this is a pair of Dwarven ruins that we enter in the main quest line and the Dawnguard quest line. This one has a story behind it. Now, if you want a longer explanation, I have that video on my channel, but a deal of the art is that a exploration group led by a man known as Sula had traveled into these ruins, and it hit the fan very quickly. The group was pretty much being haunted by the former, disappearing one by one until one night they were all kidnapped, and it went horribly from then on. By the time we enter this dungeon, only 3 survivors remain. A Khajiit, Sula and his bodyguard, whom all 3 we of course have to kind of kill. Well, I don't know if we have to kill them, but they kind of try killing us, so we can only kill them right back. You get the point. This one makes it on this list just because of how eerie the entire story is. I haven't really heard many people talk about this one, which is unfortunate because, I believe this game has good storytelling with quite a few of its dungeons. You don't always get the story by being told by it, by being told by the game. Sometimes get the story just from looking around the area, and this is one of those dungeons, and personally I find it to be interesting. Of course, my number 3 pick is, of course, the Labyrinthian. The Labyrinthian is a massive dungeon that we get to go through during the College of Untold questline. Now, this will also be a subject of a upcoming video, as the Labyrinthian has actually quite a few interesting things. First of all, it holds a skeletal dragon, which is the only one you can find in the game, which is pretty cool. It also holds a dragon priest, and it also holds the dragon priest shrine where you can get Canaric once you have all 8 previous dragon priest masks. For those wondering, I will eventually cover Siege on the Dragon and Right Witch Barrow, along with the Black Books. Those are my planned upcoming videos, so for those interested, stay tuned. But the Labyrinth is an interesting dungeon, as you only get some cool stuff down there, and you also fight some cool enemies. in my opinion, is probably the most underrated dungeon in the entire game, as I don't feel enough people talk about it, which again is unfortunate because it has a lot to offer and has personally been one of my favorite dungeons and one of the reasons why I love the Continental quest line so much. Quest line number 2, we are being visited by an old friend, the Frostflow Lighthouse. The Frostflow Lighthouse was a subject of one of my previous videos, and again, for those who have not watched it, I recommend it. It's personally one of my favorites, but the TLDR is that this family moves in, and again, it's a former dungeon. The family becomes kidnapped, and by the time the Dragonborn comes there, everyone is dead. The only thing you can do is avenge the family by killing some overgrown chorus, which I was tempted to call a giant cockroach for some reason, and perhaps remains in the lighthouse fire. It's a pretty cool miscellaneous quest, and personally one of my favorite locations plus quests in the entire game. Personally give it a recommendation for those who have not done it yet, as I believe that it is one of the best in the entire game, and one of the best side missions in any game. Of course, at number 1 we have a recent addition with Volsketch, or Volsketch, whatever it's called, I don't care. The location with review in its name is the home to a dragon priest, and also a scary dragon who decided to put his phone on top of these stairs. Volsketch, or whatever it's called, was a subject of one of my previous videos, as I had covered the entire dungeon along with the dragon priest, and personally it remains to be one of my favorite dungeons in the entire game, with just how simple but interesting it is. It was also tempting to put Dragonwald in this video, but I didn't want to put too many dragon priest locations in one video. I'll of course be planning to do more of these videos, along with some Solstheim ones, because I just realized that there aren't any locations in this video, but it was fun to tackle a few dungeons in Skyrim. So stay tuned for more videos in the future, and again, thanks for watching, and once again, thanks for making Red Dead 2 video my most popular video. So that's really cool, that's over 900 views. So thank you.